So active consumers take an active role in the energy industry by making their energy-intensive assets available to balance the grid and being remunerated for doing so. Virtually all commercials and industrial businesses can become active consumers, especially as all the industries are electrifying. For example, a company owning an electric boiler or a grinding mill powered by electricity can become an active consumer and be remunerated for helping to balance the grid. Well, the energy transition, combined with the increase in electrification, has been the driving force. Electricity demand is drastically increasing, and we are integrating more intermittent and renewable energy sources into the energy mix. So what happened is that we simultaneously need more electricity while not being able to rely on the energy production like we used to. The classic, what do we do when the sun doesn't shine and the wind doesn't blow? While active consumers are not new, their wide-scale deployment is relatively recent. As we move toward a fully renewable energy system, commercial and industrial companies that choose to become active consumers can help cope with intermittent and predictable generation by shifting their consumption and making their flexibility available. This systemic need is going anywhere. We will only see active consumers participating in flexibility services and demand response across countries. The amount of flexibility needed to straighten the grid, accommodate the increase in electrification, and act as a safety net for renewables is enormous. So everyone will get a share of the cake. Well, there are many benefits in being an active consumer, but the main advantage is the enormous economic opportunity this represents. As a consumer, the best a commercial or industrial entity could hope for is catching the lowest hourly electricity price. By becoming an active consumer, they can earn revenues for providing services to the energy system. But it's so much more than just a monetary transaction. We all benefit from a strong and stable grid, and businesses are not an exception. By participating in flexibility services, commercial and industrial businesses are helping to make the energy transition a reality. Investing in flexible assets is worthwhile and has a reasonably quick return on investment. Participating in demand response does not cost anything once a business has the proper setup. Businesses can also turn flexibility service provider like us to guide them when building this setup and reconsidering their energy strategy. Well, we are tapping into a new energy pool requiring the grid to manage volatile electricity flows. We need the TSOs and DSOs to invest in the current infrastructure to measure how much electricity is produced and consumed at any given time and support bidirectional electricity flows. We are moving away from the traditional setting where electricity will go from high to low voltage, with industry connected to the transmission network and receiving electricity from large power plants. With the increase in distributed resources, we now see electricity flow going from low to high voltage more and more often. Therefore, the low voltage infrastructure must be robust enough to manage the flow inversion. And because we are working toward a fully renewable energy system, we also see energy production sites that are not necessarily connected to consumption hubs. For example, in Italy, most renewable energy is produced in the south, but most energy consumption comes from the north. These grid challenges represent a strong opportunity for active consumers who play an active role in strengthening the grid. The need for distributed flexibility will increase alongside electricity demand and intermittent renewable energy production, which offer new revenue opportunities for active consumers.